Welcome back to As the Die Turns with Jesse as the cat in the can, Arshas as the international man of mystery. Joining us later will be Kyle as Greasy Sneaky. I am the man who didn't plan a damn thing. And that's why we are going to kick off today's episode by me asking the players, where are you?
The way you started the introduction, I thought it was an opening to like a soap opera.
That is the only thing I planned last night. The only thing I planned was that opening. And now I've ruined it by saying that I planned it.
These are the days of our dice.
Yeah. See, that's why I don't tell you guys anything, is because I want to see those reactions. I don't even care about the game. I'm just trying to make my friends laugh. Like, we're literally only streaming this because we started streaming, 4 years ago? 5 years ago?
I don't know. Some of the years have blended, so I don't know anymore.
Together, so I can make these guys laugh.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm glad you're not a vengeful DM, and it's like, you're going to enjoy this. Or so help me gods.
No. It's like, they're having a little too much fun. Time for the beholder.
Whack with stick.
Yes. The quick recap. Last time, our intrepid adventurers entered into a wrestling match to save the rec center, and they were rewarded with a stick. A stick with the magical properties to make you reconsider your last action.
Yeah, so I'm
sure that won't get abused at all.
Yeah, I'm actually now imagining something that's speaking of sticks. I'm just imagining basically binding Jesse's character to a wooden plank, turning it magical, and then hitting people with Jesse's character. Because apparently I can use my intelligence to do that.
Am I becoming the club, or am my body becoming the club?
Your body's becoming the club.
Okay.
I'm binding you to a wooden plank so I can basically hold you firmer.
You might have the intelligence to do it, but apparently you lack the wisdom not to.
I can imagine, like, you force me to a club and he's like, hold out your battle axe. So we just like extended reach, just pseudo kind of whatever controversy that gives us the extra. I don't even know how tall my character is. Anyways, back to the DM.
Well, my original question still stands. I put my dice right in front of my camera. That was not the smartest thing. I keep blocking my own view. You guys tell me, where in the world are you? Like, we left off in the small village last time, but that was a month ago, and all my plans kind of just never got written down. So you guys tell me, where you at? We'll build the story from there.
Yeah,
I imagine Zertan has not left this village place. So is there like a temple or a church in this particular town?
Yeah, it would be big enough. I mean, it would have like probably more of a non-denominational church. So it's, but yeah, there'd be a place for people to go and pray to their gods.
Yeah. Where if Zertan is sticking around Soul Jacob, and he's probably just like, watch the confusion of the current owner, or the previously current owner. Jacob's taken over the smithy.
Okay.
Do you take it by force or?
No, I just took it. No force needed.
So did you basically say there's the new sheriff in town as you walked in or something?
No, I just said I'm using your smithy. Okay. Why has it to say about it? Nope, I'm using your smithy. He's not using it.
And so then you literally walked in as if you owned the place.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to ask for multiple reasons. What are you doing in the smithy?
Doing smithy things.
Okay, Arshis, this is your DM
That's like
asking,
me.
what
That's
is
like
your
it's like
character doing there?
Oh,
Others,
that's like
just take it
that's
'cause
like
you
if you
want
ask me, what do you do in the church? Churchy things.
basically, I am just doing repairs, making doing standard a standard role a blacksmith would do, making weapons, armor. Um,
Did you just taking over the town's queue of weaponry or something?
yeah, pretty much. And also
Okay.
making and basically improving on what the current blacksmith would do.
So you gave the current smithy a vacation.
Yeah, and they returned, and they didn't get it back.
There's like the signs replaced and everything upon their return.
like I imagine you didn't actually change the sign, you just like painted you like crossed his name out and wrote your name above it.
No, it's just like there's no name. You just put a banner that says under new management.
Yeah.
And then it's crossed off.
Okay. So you just walked into a shop and said, "This is mine now," and you started doing your thing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. And now, Zertan, what are you doing in the church? And did you say churchy stuff? I'm going to get the plane tickets, and I'm come and steal your copy of the D&D series rather than borrow it.
You are not worthy of this until.
Okay, but seriously, well, what are you doing in the church?
I imagine is just there. He's just meditating and praying, just because he doesn't really serve a god other than just like anything that falls under the ways of glory. So he's just to any that are willing to give him anyone give him guidance, knowledge, or just where he shall deliver his blade, or where does the next poor soul that needs a helping hand.
Okay. I will say the one reason why I wish Kyle were here is because while you guys have these like really good character things that you were doing, he would instantly be looking for the crime lord to either replace him or become him. Wait a minute, those are the same things. He would either be trying to stop him or replace him.
Or possibly both.
Yes, like there is no crime lord. I will become the crime lord, and then I will stop the crime lord. But you guys are like, no, this is the reasonable thing I would be doing. Cal is our unreasonable hell.
Yeah. Reasonable.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been here for probably about a week. Just the blacksmith is now just like sitting outside his own shop, like he's gonna leave eventually.
No, I'm not.
He's just telling the joke.
The joke,
I mean, the main thing he has to make in a small village like this is horseshoes anyway. So it's now they got a few more swords.
And he peeks in, he sees this from like full high tech setup.
Yeah. Well, so it has been relatively calm ever since the Marquis Marshmallow. Now I remember saying the Marquis Marshmallow was chased out of town. I will say that Zertan, you might have being a little bit more with your connections. Actually, both of you have magical connections. You Jacob is more of like studying how to create items. Well, Zertan, you have your connection via glory. That the rec center he was trying to take over. There's I don't want to say a lot of power, but there is power that radiates from that place because it is actually like where a ley line runs through.
Oh,
so basically it's the sort of thing where if you knew how to tap into the magic, you could draw in more, but just people being there. He's like, one day this will be a village that has a grand adventuring party, burn it to the ground. But that's because every first level party burns their homes to the ground. It's like a requirement. If you don't come from tragedy. But no, this will be a place of power one day.
Yeah, Jacob has figured this out and has started to develop an implement to actually tap into the ley line.
Give me
Now,
an intelligence check.
tapping into it? Or are you like tapping into it?
We'll see how the
Are
roll.
you-
Siphon.
Yeah. Yeah, before we do the roll, are you going to drain this place dry, or are you just looking for a
It's
little
like it
boost?
said, are you tapping or are you siphoning?
Like siphoning at the moment.
Okay, well, what does siphoning mean? Is that like I'm just topping off the tank, or this is going to be a barren wasteland when I'm
I
done?
imagine rather than just see what's a part of it, I imagine just like I will use this power for my developments.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
How am I guessing your character so accurately today?
Well, the
Gets to a point where it's like, give me your character sheet. I'll know what your character does already.
very much, yes.
Well, in all fairness, we have been playing for a while, and
that's true.
And you have had a few sessions with Jacob.
Yeah.
Like,
I can't deny any of this.
He is predictable chaos.
Okay, that's why I'm picking so well on this character.
Like, it's the most like basically, if it's the most borderline sociopathic thing, but not being inherently illegal.
Yeah. You're like, so this is what the Marquis was going to do. Oh, I bet he's going to be able to machine like this, and you start building it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine he's just the kind of inventor that he just needs to get his hands dirty. There's no like open books of draw things out. He's just like, no, he just gets right with the nitty gritty.
Oh, he basically psychically makes a blueprint, follows the blueprint. He doesn't need to actually draw things down. He just basically goes, right, this, done.
Oh, so that's why like when Zertan looks at him working, he just sees it's just like, all right.
Pretty much, yeah.
I guess it would be better to say you're more mad scientist, but if I were going to put it into common terms, it would be you were a redneck engineer. Like you're going to find the tools and you're going to figure out a way to make them work.
Yeah, basically he is kind of like Bugger, but in a human form.
You know, I don't know if that's supposed to be an insult to Bugger or a compliment. Because Bugger is absolutely, oh, you have an alien spaceship here? Sure, I'll get it up and running. And you guys did that to him once.
He broke the windshield wipers, but boy, howdy, got it working.
All right, so you've been here for a little while. Like I said, Arshis is apparently slowly trying to take over the entire town when he realizes that there's a source of power here. On top of the fact that Jacob is probably just, I don't want to go creepy, but he's the sort of person that nobody actually wants to be in his presence for very long. So the younger kids have been running out into the woods, and I would say one of the odder things that happens is that when they come back, they're grabbing, like it starts off with sticks and they're running into the woods. That's probably normal. Then they start trying to get like the small, like they're yanking the branches down so that way they got something that's living. They're probably chopping down a few of the crops and everything, and they're just taking all these living things and running into the woods giggling.
Like Jacob notices this, shrugs, gets back to work.
And like I remember just Zertan just like, I remember just like as time went by, he just observed like, oh, children at play, but then he sees them ripping off all like living branches, and I'm just like, there's plenty of sticks upon the ground that they could have picked. Why did they need that one? And then it just where like he just can't help but just have like a little tick in the back of his head. It's just like it's not fitting, even though his intelligence is 7. It's not following his form of logic.
Yeah, because I think your form of logic would be like if they were using them to practice their swordsmanship, beat each other over the head. That would be in line with Zertan. But this is like they're looking for the hardiest things they can. There's even like seems to be almost the competition that kids just naturally get to is like, hey, I bet this will last longer. Yeah, let's try it. And then they just run off into the woods again.
Meanwhile, Joseph is selling sticks to the children and making a huge profit.
Actually, no, you would find that's Jacob. He's actually crafted wooden swords.
No, what Joseph is doing is he's selling them an entire fletching course as well as flint mapping.
So Joseph, you're still in the same town. Zertan has, been in the local church. Archis is taking over building by building because he realized that there's a source of power in this village. It's not humongous, but he can tap into it and he can drain it dry. And kids are taking live branches out into the woods, and it just seems to be the funniest game ever to them.
I'm just going to walk up to Zertan. Did I miss anything?
Nope, you basically seen everything I've seen. And if you have any logical conclusions, I'm all ears.
I mean, he's not Fey as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm aware, so I don't think we should be concerned.
I don't know. I've been praying a lot lately, and I don't sense anything. But again, no one has said anything either.
You know what? That does remind me. How does your paladin sense work? Do you have to use detect good and evil specifically, or is it just sort of always on?
It's something I actually have to use to detect.
Okay, that's because it's been a while since I've played with a paladin. So at one point, you hear one of the younger girls like, "No, not my cat," and there's a little bit of an argument about whether or not they're taking the cat into the woods. It's like half the kids seem to be against it because they're like, "No, that's me. Plants don't care."
Plants don't care. I think we should be concerned now.
Let's pray it's not a dryad's doing.
Oh, if it is, we at least have some way to deal with it.
Unless it seduces Jacob. Actually, Jacob, where are you?
You hear clang, clang, clang.
Hey, Jacob, want to kill a dryad?
What's a dryad?
Tree zombie.
Like Jacob just stands up and just walks in. Right.
Thank you, Joseph. You lied for the lawful good paladin. Thank you.
I mean, you could have said the exact opposite of a wet and.
All right. Right. It could be interesting. I would be interested to see this tree zombie. I've dealt with regular zombies, zombie beholders, zombie dragons. No tree zombie though. Let's go.
Yeah, so needless to say, obviously weak to fire. So if you have anything of the fire variety, like your flamethrower hand or leg, I forget which one it was.
Nope. I've got my dog.
Right, forgot about the dog.
Dog.
Never mind.
With no context, that sounds so weird.
Yeah.
Bring the fire. No, I got my dog.
Yeah. Okay. Dog breathes fire.
No, dog shoots fire out of cannon on back.
A whole new world.
This really shouldn't disturb me as much as it is.
Now I have to Jacob, is it trained for the cannon or is it just severe recoil for the dog every time it fires?
Well, it's almost as good a shot as I am.
Okay. Still with confidence, but okay. Because I don't want it to be like, bam.
Also, yeah. How much fire do you want?
That's
I mean, if it's a dryad, the phrase is kill it with fire. So,
Okay. Okay.
I'm sorry. I just in all my years on the road, no one has ever asked me how much fire was required. I don't know how to answer this.
Well, we could either have a little bit of fire or a lot of fire.
You have limits to fire I've fought with sorcerers and wizards to where it is either like a bonfire or a bonfire.
Well, either we fight with little FECCR or big FECCR.
You said a lot
I mean,
of
it's
words.
never the.
I promise I was listening.
In other words, he's got big and bigger, and it really depends on how we want to use the size.
And you plan for all of it, or can you only have set limits?
Well, I
I
could
mean,
use.
you don't want to take all of it all at once.
I'm new to tech. I'm new to this thing called technology. Okay.
Well, I have a spell that could turn this medium-sized dog into a large dog,
Right,
and
so
and, and since the cannon is attached to his back, that medium cannon will turn into a big cannon.
okay. Have that in our back pocket as like last resort.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure, whether in the woods or we find like if we go like in the undergrounds, wherever this leads us, we have that as because I'm pretty sure we're going to do some severe collateral damage.
Yeah. Think of it this way. The cannon he has on his back right now is similar to a wand.
Okay.
You saw those cannons I built to fight the dragon?
Yeah, I was there.
If I cast a spell on the dragon, he would have one of those on his back.
Okay.
So how much fire do you want?
Enough.
All the fire.
Okay. Cracks his hands. Well, I'll make sure I know what to do when we fight this zombie tree.
Great.
All right.
I just swear, if we get there and it's a freaking fire elemental, we're so screwed.
Because yes, village kids are debating whether or not to throw a cat at the fire elemental. Like even for my tendencies, I don't think I'd go that dark.
Just imagine they bring forth all these kindling for the fire elemental, and it demanded more.
Well, time to go hunt down a zombie tree. I will track.
Yeah, please. I'll bring the rear.
Okay. Jacob, how are you going about tracking this?
He spent time in the wilderness, so he's basically using his survival training to find any clues and follow those down.
Okay, give me a roll for that.
Okay. That is a 24 on survival.
Okay. Because the kids have been just like running back and forth, and they are not. I mean, they're doing what young kids do, and they are ripping up everything that was amusing to them in their path. It's very easy to follow this trail, and you're going to notice that as you're walking through the woods, it's going to be a couple of hours journey, because they weren't told to go too far away from home, which means, of course, they pushed that limit as much as they dared. But things are going to let's say you were in like spring, summer. It was a nice warm day. Everything is green. Everything is growing. But the closer the further you get from the village, the more that changes, and things are. They're not dead, but they're definitely. It's starting to look like fall all of a sudden. Like it's a gradual procession. You go on a little longer. And you don't have snow, but it might as well be the dead of winter because there's no green anywhere. And in the little ways off, you're going to start to see, a cave. And Jacob, the cave might look a little bit familiar to you. But the closer you get to the cave, now it might as well be a wasteland. Like the trees are still there, but they're borderline petrified. They've aged. Like, some of them are crumbling, but some are just like dehydrating and aging rapidly.
Reminds me
I
of
start.
home.
I was about to
start-
literally say that Jacob's at home. Arshis, that's your statement.
I
earlier
swear
is
they're
becoming
like
more and more
I know
true.
why I say I'm improvising these things, which I am. I just have elements that I can pull from, and I just like, which story element are you going to make me pull from? And I swear I didn't mean for it to align so well with your theories, but the fact that it is just
There's going to be corkboard with yarn at some point, isn't there?
I'm a little concerned, but if my theories are correct, we might be in trouble.
Dude, this is where I would now
Like how in trouble?
Give me a moment. And this where Zertan would like to use his divine sense, which is he's going to use detect any good and evil. I can sense anything affected by the spell and no location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover.
all right. So if it's behind total cover, you don't sense it.
Yeah, if it that detect anything that is not behind total cover.
Okay, then no. At this time, you did not sense anything.
Okay, so just where you see like Zertan kind of like go into like a meditation stance, and then he reports, "Nothing yet. Even though this is very odd. Just be ready for anything."
If I'm correct, this what I am mildly concerned about is, if memory serves me correctly, that's the cave I came from.
You were born in a cave?
No, I was shoved through an interdimensional portal and I end up in a cave.
When you went through this portal, were you alone, or were you ended up being alone?
I ended up being alone after I was fighting a lich.
I see.
Is anyone ever truly with anyone else?
Joseph,
I have my dog, so I'm never alone. Dog.
Joseph, I appreciate that he thought, but now's not the time.
Okay.
Just like it's just a very furry paw, like his finger that goes through. No.
But that's the worst case scenario. What I'm assuming, and if the powers that be wish to correct this or make me judge my understanding, go ahead. But if a interdimensional portal was opened and I was shoved through, the residual energy of my home dimension might have seeped through.
So, is it by chance this portal would be affecting the lands, or would something have to come out to affect the lands to this degree?
Well, my dimension is pretty much death or undeath itself. So the residual death energy coming from my portal, my homeland, might have affected the area.
All right. So
I will say, Jacob, this. All right, you describe your homeland to me, and I'll say if this reminds you of it. I mean, because there's always different wastelands, so you describe your wasteland.
Basically, my wasteland is what is literally a zombie apocalypse.
Okay, so it's like there's still trying to think of how to say, like Mad Max wasteland, or like twisted gnarled trees, but the trees still grow.
Twisted gnarled trees, but the trees still grow.
Oh, okay. This is becoming more like a desolate wasteland.
Yeah.
So it's not quite the same.
Of course. And thank you, powers that be. That is enlightening. and you see Jacob looking up at the sky, actually saying this. But I could be incorrect. My arcane knowledge is more on the crafting of items more than grander scales. Grander scales like this, if this is magically induced.
A group of kids are just like running past you now. They have a rope with them.
I grab one of the kids, lift him up.
Hey, let me go.
No.
He's let me just see how he does it flailing. Okay, he does a terrible job at flailing. He's literally just flailing, and everybody's like, stranger danger, you let him go. I'm gonna go get my dad.
You do that. I'm going to interrogate this small being.
Okay, I would say they were going to throw rocks at you, but they have terrible aim because they're kids. Like these are like
Zertan is just
the
there with a shield. Ting, 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 ting.
yeah.
Joseph is just looking himself over after hearing the phrase stranger danger, and then he looks at Zertan and he goes like, that's the first time I've ever heard that about myself.
Enlighten up for a moment. As ting, 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 ting.
Zertan, you are more better at the talking to people thing. Here, and he hands in the small child.
I keep this
About 12-year-old.
I keep the 12-year-old aloft in the air as I go, so what's the rope for?
I'm not telling you anything. And he's trying to in fact, make a strength check for me now that you're holding him, Joseph.
Strength check?
Yes.
The rogue.
I
panics.
mean, like the first time it was so low, he wasn't going to be able to fight Jacob unless Jacob had a strength of 12. And I'm pretty sure it's higher than
19.
Yeah. So therefore, he rolled better this time. So therefore, he's got a fighting chance of getting loose.
Trying to get this thing to roll.
He's like, would you like Zertan's assistance on this as well?
Yes, please. Because I'm not, as you can see, I've completely moved office and I haven't got my dice with me, and I'm trying to use
Yeah, I imagine like how Zertan is helping. It's just like you have the child, but like Zertan like sets him down, just like a calm hand on the shoulder, kind of try to reassure that you're not in trouble. Kind of like approach he's trying to as he's facing.
Okay.
Joseph.
Since you're doing this from a different perspective, I'll say make that roll for me. Because if you were just going to help hold the kid up, it wasn't going to be a contest. He couldn't compete with two of you.
I'm going to attack you on the back and cast guidance.
Why is D&D Beyond not letting me roll on any platform?
All right, I got a 27 on that.
Okay.
And that's including the guidance.
The kid just says, well, we're going to use the rope to see if we can pull anything back.
Back from what?
From the hole.
What hole?
The hole in the cave.
Jeez, it's like you don't know anything.
There's a hole in the cave in the woods in the bottom of the sea.
Well, I'm going to inspect this hole.
Okay. First off, I guess I should just ask, are you taking the kid with you?
Oh, heck no.
Okay. Well, I mean, you are not exactly the most thoughtful group. I have to double check.
I'm gonna give him crackers from my rations and say like, the adults are gonna take care of it now. Have a good day. Like tell your friends.
I'm just gonna hand over the beef jerky from a day's rations and just pretty much go.
Lunchables now. Yes.
Okay. Because you rolled so well earlier, we're going to say that the kids are they're going to watch because they're curious, but they're going to stay back when they watch.
Okay.
So
Zertan allows that.
okay, so you all go to the cave.
Sorry, Zertan, or sorry about this. Joseph was like, you make perception checks when you say adults.
Sorry, one more
Are
time.
you, can somebody roll it for me?
Yeah. A 5.
Yeah. Done.
Can we all roll
we're
for
gonna
Joseph?
also, just to make things clear, in my view of these sort of worlds in this sort of a place, right around you start hitting the age of 16, 17, because they don't keep exact track. You've reached the age of accountability where you're supposed to be smart enough to know not to burn down a building.
Fair enough.
Okay.
You can comprehend the law.
Yeah. That's something that I'm taking from a Jim Butcher book where it's
Good
like,
source.
okay, so I won't get too much of a tangent, but it was the main character is being told he has to execute some people for war crimes. And it's like, well, we at least can legally say that we don't have to execute the children because they are still under the care of their parents. They haven't reached the age of accountability. Oh, well, that's good. It just means we have to execute the parents twice.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you read the books too, because I pull so much from Jim Butcher. Okay, so anyway, these kids, they are just old enough to know that they're doing stuff they're not supposed to, but no, the court would not execute the crown or whoever the ruling party is. I forgot. I said I was going to do this as a republic.
Yeah.
Anyway, the guards wouldn't kill the kids for what they're for anything they did. Their parents would be held accountable. So they're all just young enough and stupid enough to watch you. And Arceus, in this world, you're considered legally responsible for your actions.
Specifically Arceus. I love that.
Now,
You
that
had to
being said,
address that.
you approach the cave.
Right. So how we want to arrange ourselves in this kind of predicament?
Zertan up front, Jacob just behind.
Okay.
Because Jacob is more mid-range fighter.
Okay.
So
I have no objections for that.
There's evidence that there were trees around this place, but it's more like the hollow stumps now. And there are several skeletons, like not humanoid skeletons, just like animal skeletons. And not recent, like, I would say it was almost like if you were to find a complete fossil of an animal. It's like it's just there, but it looks like it hasn't been touched in centuries.
Yeah. I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Okay, I mean, yeah, the magic is radiating from this cave. As far as the School of Magic, I guess if I have to put it into a category, it's necromantic.
You see Jacob.
I'm not 100% full up on the different schools. I think that's the best one to describe it.
Yeah, Jacob. You see Jacob eyes glow, and you just see him just lower his goggles, and what normally is a resigned expression, you see anger as he pulls out his hand crossbow. This place is radiating necromantic energy.
The kids are starting to get impatient waiting for you because they want to see something interesting.
Kids, leave now.
Oh, it's fine. We do this all the time. Like, watch, and they run past you.
And I just grab one as you.
Okay, you will need to make a dexterity check because they are running.
Can I make an athletics check instead?
No, this is your speed.
Okay.
I guess, yeah, I'll allow athletics. That makes sense. Let me roll for several of them.
All right. After his check, I want to try something.
Okay, you go ahead and tell me what you're doing because he's rolling.
I'm
rolling for kids.
Well, he's
19.
trying to grab
19. Okay.
And while it's there, I want to attempt to try to scare the kids to leave. So I just want to, using the resonance of the cave, I want to let out my lion roar.
Okay.
You're right and raw.
My lion roar.
I think that would be intimidation. I'll give you intimidation at advantage.
Beautiful. Okay, my intimidation 17.
17.
So it's just basically in this cave.
Okay. Oh, I can actually hear it that time. Okay, so let me go in order. Arceus, you grab one. You didn't grab the slowest one, but you grab one from the middle pack. A couple of them get around you. Then Zertan, your roar scares off like 5 out of 7 of them, but a couple of them are just stubborn enough and just fast enough to get around, and they are already inside the cave.
All right.
So the other 5 there, well, 4 of them are booking it. One is, why do you keep picking me up? And he's just like trying to beat on your arm, but he does not have the physical strength to do anything.
Jacob just goes, hold on. And he just walks out, it just lobs him out. Stay out. No place for children. Oh.
Okay, the kid takes 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Anyway, yeah, the other 2, they ran straight down into the cave.
FECCR fetch.
Make a athletics check for FCCR.
I imagine Zertan and now CCR are just like, boom.
Okay, athletics, just double checking.
I'll tell you right now, one of the kids got a natural 20, the other got an 18. So you're gonna have to work. Like they had the stupidness of children and the speed of children.
Yes.
Yeah. Hang on. I'm now. See, where the hell is the athletic roll? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to find athletics for FECCR.
I don't know how to roll for pets.
Still the thunder. Okay.
It's easier if it was a hamster and a ball. Then we could easily roll for that.
Okay, I'm gonna cast enhanceability on FECCR.
Okay. Now I will say that you've already picked one up, so this is going to be like a different action. So if you want to take the time to cast that,
no, I'll just
give them advantage.
I'll just roll.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna roll flat 20 and then add the +2.
Okay.
Okay, it is. Yeah, that's a 6.
Okay. No. FACCR probably got distracted by one of the bones and started chewing on it. Anyway, so those 2 kids, they're down into the cave, and
I turn to Zertan.
And his leg's gone.
Yeah.
Okay,
fine.
Zertan, what's your speed? Because I'm pretty sure you can outpace the kids.
Yeah, my speed is 45.
Okay. So we're gonna say you're right behind them as they run in, and they don't even go that far in, just enough that they're kind of like, in the darkness. Because there is like a pillar of swirling purple, and they're taking the rope and they're tying like a scrap piece of metal to it and swinging it, and that's when you catch up with them.
Yeah, I imagine it's just like once he gets to them, he goes, "Jesus at once."
Make another intimidation check.
23.
And they're swinging. They're still swinging. Like, but this is going to be the cool part.
And this is where he just like gets just down and meets them at eye level. Listen, if this is harmless, I will let you play with it as long as you want.
Okay, and he throws the piece of metal straight into the swirling purple.
As a player, I am pleased. Zertan is just like,
You gave him permission. We've been doing this for a couple of days now. It's fine. You see, and he tugs on the rope, and a broken, frayed end comes back. He's like, "Oh, that didn't work either. We need a better rope." And they run back out in search of better rope.
Zertan will just let them go.
And
around the pillar, which is probably about 5 foot in diameter, you can see the edges of sticks and, just whatever they could get their hands a hold to. And they're just like littered around, pieces of them, small ones at that.
At this point, Jacob appears. Swirling pool of purple, never a good sign. Everyone knows purple is evil.
Joseph just stares at you.
Now you two. We all know the difference between an evil purple and a royalty purple. We get it.
I'm neither. I don't know if I'm royal or not, but
Would you like to be royalty, oh dear prince?
will I get a title and the ability to charter?
Wait, listen, we can discuss that later. Anyway, we gotta keep focus here. There's a big purple thing. Thankfully, the children are unharmed, to my knowledge. Gotta cover all bases. I don't want to anger any gods that might be listening.
I'm gonna take a closer look.
Please
Okay.
do.
You can't really see through it unless you want to stick your head through it.
Nope.
Okay.
Jacob is smart enough and wise enough not to do that.
Yeah, so it was almost like a pillar of light with swirling mist, I guess is the best way to describe it. So there's nothing you can, you can't see into it.
Yeah. My detect magic should still be up.
Is what?
My detect magic should still be up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, detect magic. Got it.
This is the source of the magic.
Well, found the source of the magic, if that's not obvious.
All right. Glad we have the confirmation. Now,
Are you sure? Are you sure you're sure?
Yes,
I
I'm
mean,
perfectly sure.
listen.
I am sure as you are, Skinny.
All right. Anyway, you two are hilarious. Anyway, let's get to the point. So, we know the source. We have confirmed that. Now, Jacob, is this something that we can just smashy deals are done, or do we need a proper wizardy chant to disenchant it, or do we need Cannon Boy?
I don't think my dog will be much use here. My magic is, if I have some time, I might be able to rig something up to help close it.
Let me add on one thing for your magical vision. I'm going to say that you can see sort of like the flow of the power as it sort of emanates from here. It's not penetrating the cave walls. It does seem that if it, with the exception of the open mouth of the cave, it's mostly contained within here.
But it seems that the residual penetrative effects of the magic is minimal. So if we sealed up the cave until we can figure out what we need to do with it, that might be a good starting point.
See.
The smashy, and if I see anything shiny, I can take it.
Jacob just looks at you. Like, you can't see much, but his expression much because of the goggles. But he's just looking at you and looking and looking.
Dude, I've stolen entire kingdoms before.
Well, if you want,
some hell bag of holding. How the hell did you do that?
Oh, I knocked my best friend out of a window.
Well, if you want to put your head, if you want to put your head in the swirling pool of evil, go right ahead.
I don't want to stick my head. I meant like in this cave. if there's like anything shiny in the cave as we go through the process of sealing it off.
Oh, be my guest.
I mean, you do still have the mechanical leg. You know, if you want to play hokey pokey with it, which is kind of how you lost the first leg. Now that I think about it.
Jacob sees the mechanical leg.
Yeah, it's kind of easy to hear, at least when he steps.
Huh. Prosthetic.
Oh
I'm
no!
just wondering how long Jesse's going to do this mental math.
Like,
this is just blowing Zertan's mind. It's like acquire like stole
I throw
entire
people out
kingdom.
windows. I
Throw
gain
people out
countries.
window.
yeah.
So the land is taken by disfenestrating.
Yeah. I might have to look at that prosthetic at some point.
I literally pull the leg, the pant leg up. It's not a prosthetic.
Yeah, it's like a Modron leg right up until, say, you know, like midway up the shin, and then it seems like it's fused to him. Like there's no seam; it melds.
Like Jacob kneels down and is just glaring, like uncomfortably so at the leg, as you see the cogs turning.
Dude, if you want to keep staring at it like that, it's going to be 2 silver.
Like, hands you 2 silver.
I just hefty it and put it in my pocket.
Okay, 2 silver from one to the other.
I mean, it's nothing to say. When I get stabbed as well, the wounds heal up in this as well. So,
are we talking like nanobots or
what's a nanobot?
It's a microorganism, that mechanical microorganism that flows within the body.
What's a microorganism?
It's hard to be the smartest one in the room.
You're just using made up words. I can do that too.
Like, do I actually have to write stuff down?
No,
anyway.
You don't, but I will remember this.
If gets out War's crossbow, pokes him in the leg.
What? I can feel when you poke the metal.
Right. How much did it cost to study you?
Not a common question that Joe's has ever received.
I just study me in what way?
Study you in a way that I might be able to replicate what's happening to your body. It will be completely non-invasive.
You can go ahead and do so right now if it's going to take less than 5 minutes.
No, no. When I study something, it takes a long time.
Well, just to make you aware, I tend to get very bored if things are going to go more than an hour and a half. So.
Oh, we're talking weeks.
Come back to me on that one when I'm feeling more open.
I need a moment. The connotations behind that was. I'm trying to play a very straight-laced character.
Not easy being smart, isn't it?
And now you know why Jesse plays the characters he does.
That's why I hate playing intelligence. It makes me think.
So, not so much the intelligence bit. It's the fact I'm supposed to be playing a straight-laced character.
Yeah.
And Arthur's brain poking at Jacob.
So you're all staring at this bizarre swirling pillar that goes up to the top of the cave. Well, except for Jacob, who was staring at a metal leg.
Well, I will come back to the leg. Let's deal with the swirling pool of purple. like this, tries to think on how he can figure out what exactly this is. He has his theories, but he wants to figure out if it could be more certain.
Well, we all know that the best way to make something happen in this game is to sit there and stare until I get bored and throw a monster at you. So maybe start up with your theories before things come out of the portal at random.
Yeah. Like his initial theory is a portal between his and this dimension, but he could be wrong. He wants to know if there's any way to shut down the portal itself, and if there's any ramifications on his stay here if we do close the portal.
Okay, how are you going to go about testing any of these theories?
I'm gonna try and figure out the like I got detect magic, identify. I have my own arcane knowledge. Would it be would I be able to roll Arcana for initial inspection?
Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm actually going to use enhanced ability on myself to give myself advantage. So, yep, and second roll. Yeah, that is a 22.
A 22. Well, you know things are going through the portal, so this is definitely more of a gate than it is anything. Like because based on what you saw the kids trying, you imagine that if they just wanted to throw something through the portal, it would come through the other side or the pillar. So this is apparently a gateway. I know gateway would be a different kind of magic, so you would be able to detect that particular school in here. The necromantic energy is coming out of the portal, and that is the reason you're detecting that first is because it's like mist in the air. There's more of it.
So it's not the portal itself that is actually necromantic. It's what's coming from the portal.
Yes.
That does certify my. I believe the portal is safe to go through, but what's on the other side might not be.
Zertan literally just saw the kid throw a rope through and pull back a frayed edge.
So death and certain destruction on the other side. Got it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to try putting something in to see what happens.
Yep.
Okay, what are you putting in?
I've got ball bearings. I'm going to be tossing one of those in.
Okay, the ball bearing goes through, but you can't see it once it passes through.
All right, I'm going to wrap one. I'm going to take a bit of my hemp rope, not one of the ball bearings into a monkey's fist, not in the middle.
Yeah.
And I'm going to toss that into the portal and then pull that back.
Okay. Where the rope it goes through, when you pull it back, you get that frayed, yellowed end of the rope, but the ball bearing part did not come back.
I sniff the end of the rope.
I don't know what old rope smells like. Hay?
Yeah. Especially old hemp rope. Yeah, it smells like hay.
it would smell like hay, like dried out hay. Not even the musty one, just the really good dried aged hay.
It's accelerating the aging.
Actually doesn't sound like. My initial theory might be wrong, but I'm mildly worried about this.
I think this might be a portal onto the plane of death and decay.
So, like my home, but not my home.
I mean, same neighborhood, different house.
Well, I'd rather not have a portal to this death dimension springing up. I don't need to be living in another death-filled wasteland. I suggest we close this up, and then I'll go back and figure out how to whip up a contraction to close this.
This is kind of beyond my pay grade to be able to understand on how to close it, dude. So,
No,
who all has passive perception above 15?
That would be Jacob.
Okay. Jacob, outside the cave, you see a young deer, like a fawn, running by. And then antlers are growing on it a couple seconds later.
Yeah, we need to close this. We need. Oh, from what
now is about 2 feet taller.
Yeah, guys, we need to close up this cave until I can figure out a device to actually close it.
Because now is a 10-point buck.
Because I point that used to be a baby deer about 5 seconds ago.
It hasn't been eating; it falls over.
I look at my hands. And
I suggest we leave now.
Doesn't seem to be giving you the same effect. Maybe because I don't know. You don't have enough information to draw a conclusion yet, but
yeah, and
you're not withering.
And I suggest we leave because even though it doesn't seem to be affecting us right now, it might.
Does anybody have any explosives to be able to seal the cave?
We have a dog.
Yeah, yes, we do. Hang on.
I can magically enhance the cannon. After he's enlarged it,
yeah,
we get behind cover, we fire in the hole, and we jet out.
And hopefully we don't have a giant necromantic flesh golem come through.
That's right. If it's a big enough a blast, it would cause a cave-in.
I suggest we do.
Whatever comes through,
yeah,
it's trapped at the very least.
Yeah. I suggest we do this now, and while we are still young.
All right, dog with me.
Dog. Yeah.
Now the question we have to be make sure we exit for the outside of the cave, so we don't have to try to beat the cave in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also like having eardrums. And firing the.
Yeah. There's so many things I want to say right now, but I had to keep my mouth shut because I'm the DM.
Yeah. We leave. Jacob touches his dog, and basically it's from a Great Dane. It basically. It looks like a greyhound normally, but now it looks like a greyhound if it was the size of a T-Rex.
All right, then I cast a magic weapon on the cannon, so now it counts as a magical weapon.
Okay, so I can definitely say firepower wise, you have that well covered. I think the challenge here is going to be the structural integrity issue. Because if you do this wrong, you might release the pillar. So you need to be able to roll it. You need to try to figure out how to aim your shot to cause a cave in that closes the cave without exposing the cave, I guess.
Yeah.
Jacob, does your dog come with sights?
Or
laser sights.
I'll say that this can be more of a skill challenge. Each of you can come up with a way to try to improve this odds.
Yeah.
Scope, thermoscope.
Hang on.
Hybrid scope.
You see Jacob pull out his tinkering tools, and you start seeing him basically putting on. The sight from X-Wing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically, one of those onto his FECCR.
Okay. Give me a roll with your tinkering tools. I'll let you do that with intelligence.
Yeah.
And add the proficiency from Tinkerer's tools.
I'm unfortunately I can't actually full on roll, so it's going to be.
You just roll your intelligence and then add the modifier.
Well, he's got expertise in Tinkerer's tools.
Okay.
Okay, intelligence. So base. Okay. Oh, I've also got uh, advantage because of. Okay, that is going to be a uh, we have 14.
14. Okay. Does anybody have anything they would also roll to try to make sure you take down the cave properly?
I'll oil the bearings on. No, I'll oil the gun so that it's, for lack of a better term, well lubricated. That way, it doesn't judder about unnecessarily.
Okay. We'll go ahead and call that an intelligence as well, because I'm not really. There's not normally a role for oiling machines, so I'm going with like a Tinkerer Tools type of thing.
Jylith, can you roll that for me, please?
You got it, buddy.
Yay!
By the way, how are we talking? All right, got it.
I really expected one of you to pull out like, some architecture tools and like, okay, here's how the arch goes. It's where we need to shoot it.
All right, I got an 8 on the die.
An 8. Okay.
That's a 9.
Okay. Zertan, do you have anything that you would wish to add to this endeavor?
See, because I'm checking. Unfortunately, magic weapon, it's concentration up to 1 hour, and I'm just looking at anything I can add to it, but everything else is like a concentration thing.
This would be more like I guess like not like a way to better, like you've already added the firepower onto it. Like you've got the destructive side. Now it's more of knowing how to apply it. And if you want to like pray for help, that would be acceptable.
I imagine what he would be doing is just in case, as he said earlier, in case the dog can't withstand the recoil, he's like there, grab him hold like on both legs using his own strength as kind of a makeshift tripod to make sure this structure's like it's able to withstand whatever it's going to be coming out.
Okay, make that a strength check.
You got it. All right, dirty 20.
Okay. So you get all of these things lined up. You've targeted where you plan to shoot. You fire the blast. And I imagine this is like full on anime. It takes like 30 seconds to power up. The glow is getting brighter and brighter. If this were Dragon Ball Z, we would cut here, come back, and then do half this session again and go like 10 seconds into the power up.
It'd be like 5 times in a row. On over their heads. Have they found the secret to Caesar's evil, or it simply has begun?
and find out next time on.
And as the anticipation grows so much that you're bordering on board with it, the beam fires out. And there's a loud crack as the stone crumbles. And the cave does indeed collapse in on itself. With, plenty of like loose rubble and I mean, basically, I'm just going to put it this way. Someone who is really dedicated could haul the rocks out and get back into it by hand, but it might take them a couple of days because these are some big rocks. But for now, everything seems sealed.
Yeah, and Jacob isn't certain, so he's going to release the large reduce, walk up and cast mending on the edges and the seal, and it's basically and by the time he's done, it's just completely like any cracks or things are completely sealed off.
I see where you're going with this. Now, because mending is a cantrip, it has a limited space. It's going to take you a while,
Yeah. Like he's
but
like Jacob is
yeah, I
patient.
like it. You can do it. You'll need to spend the rest of the night basically. I would say almost a couple of hours just constantly, concentrating. But
Yeah.
yeah, you can accomplish that. You now have a relatively sealed up cave.
And just because I've always wanted to say this, now that was an earth-shattering kabang.
Oh.
Dog.
Well, the threat, by all appearances, has been contained, if not corrected. The kids, came back after a while, and they were all disappointed because you've taken away their new toy.
Yeah.
We offer Lunchables as a sorry.
And I will, if they are really disappointed, I will offer a nod.
You know what? Just because these were the best ones, I'm going to make them pizza Lunchables. Because everybody as a kid wanted those ones.
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to allow it. I don't know where you got the marinara sauce, but you did
Yes.
Jacob invented it.
I was about to say it's marinara.
He was just like he somehow found some tomatoes and just like squished them up real quick, and
Yeah.
Jacob invented a blender.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I imagine all it is just you just took a mug from the tavern, added blades to it.
No, dude, it's how an artificer casts whirling blades. It's just this giant thing comes down from the sky, encapsulates them in glass, and then a rotating blade just fires down from the top.
Yeah, Jacob is going to go back to the ley line and start using this to basically start working on a device. He's probably going to actually sleep first, then work on the device.
Okay.
That took a lot of magical energy.
All right. So yeah, you're the next day you'll be fully rested up. You think that the amount of magical energy coming from this ley line, unless you just like deliberately, spend months building a mage's tower designed to harness it, it's more like low level radiation. Like people growing up here will grow up stronger, but you would need a foci to draw on its power quickly.
Basically, what he's going to do is he's going to basically make the magical equivalent of AAA batteries.
Okay.
Just to as a minute power source to basically plug it into his device.
What does your device do?
Basically, it's going to connect with the portal itself, and essentially stitch it together, and basically be a magical sewing machine and basically stitch it closed.
I'm going to say that's going to be the kind of thing that would take you quite a while to build and might require more knowledge than you currently possess. This could be like a long-term project that you can do. So yeah, you kind of got everything sealed off, but you're gonna you don't. I don't know, unless you actually have like magic to like dispel a gate or anything, and this is. Portals are tricky to start with. Coming up with a way to, what I'm saying is, it's going to take time.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have it done overnight.
Okay, I've known a few people who were like, "Why can't I just fix this?" So that's why I get a little.
Why can't I activate the cheat tools?
Yes, that's why I get a little over descriptive because I get
that.
Yeah,
I get that.
But yes, for now you have definitely contained it. Children aren't able to go in there and stick their hand and pull out a skeleton arm unless they get pickaxes, and these kids aren't strong enough to use pickaxes.
Yeah, basically right now, like Zertan is actually going to see something he's not in the time he's been with Jacob. He's going to see something he's never done. Jacob's going to actually pull out blueprint paper.
This requires thought.
I fall out of my
Yeah.
chair. Right when you know someone.
Like most
I
devices.
want to say I am very proud. I honestly thought one of you was going to have the idea of sticking a limb in there just to find out what happened, because again, you've done it.
Yeah. Most.
If I was playing Frick, he would try to see how fast he can get in and out.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would have loved to have seen that.
Yeah. Jacob sees the reaction from Zertan, and he explains, with most devices I've created so far, it's been rudimentary and quite simplistic, simplistic, so I can do off my own natural knowledge. This device I'm creating is more complex than I've ever built, so it's going to take time and thought.
I rolled a 12. Did I understand that?
I'm going to say that that's entirely your interpretation of how you would do that roll.
All right. Anything that was like 3 syllables or more, he didn't understand, but everything else he was able to piece together in his own interpretation.
How did you interpret it then?
I understand, according to my research, 40% of what he said.
Jacob saw.
So just like he understands, like it's not just like you were saying funny words. It's like okay, like enough words he can nod, and then it's just where just let him speak.
Yeah. Jacob sighs. Jacob sighs and goes, "Old devices easy, new device hard. Need time and energy to build."
Okay. Now, is there something that only you can handle? Or is there anything that we can do to assist you in this endeavor?
At this point in time, I'm building the pieces, but physical labor might be required. So
I can lend my strength to your endeavor.
Much appreciated.
I can lend my ability to actually very, very finessely. I have very, very, very good hands at manipulating small things. So
I hold the board. You work the screwdriver.
I'll do it. Archus, give me an intelligence check. Make it Arcana actually, and we'll figure out what you need to get started, and then we'll work on it more outside of the game. But just to give you the right direction, give me the roll. We'll see what your first plans are.
That is a 27. I'm going to trust guidance just to make sure.
Yeah. So when they ask you how they can help, you're like instantly your mind goes through, we're going to need better materials. You're going to need arcane materials. This is going to be, this is something that Mordecai would take a look at your drawing and it's like, yeah, this is good, but you don't have what you need to do it yet. Like, so basically you're going to need some high-end magical materials, and this little village, they ain't got it.
For a second,
I'm sure if you raid a couple of mages towers, you can get some of the preliminary items. Just go steal from a bunch of people; it'll work out.
Well, from what I can gather, we ain't gonna get the materials we need from here, so we're gonna have to go rob some mages.
Or you could, actually work to gather the things, but robbery's quicker.
Yeah.
I imagine that was Zertan's words. Or
we could tunnel into dungeons and try to slowly gather what we need, or we can steal it from the magical vault.
This is what happened.
I know a mage school we might be able to boost it from.
Okay.
If it's on this plane of existence. I don't know where the hell we are though. So
I mean, there's always major mage schools.
Don't worry, we have a portal.
Well, and this is where Jacob takes Joseph aside, and the rogue and the chaotic neutral battlesmith start planning.
Well, since Jacob doesn't actually have contacts in this world, I will say the other two of you, what kind of what sort of connections would you have that would allow you to get access to arcane materials?
I was expelled from a mage's school.
Let's put it.
So
Let me simplify it because yes, that's definitely one way. I'm gonna say like this is not something they would have handed out to students. This is going to be, this is gonna be like a ninth level magical artifice here. So that being said, do you know anybody or that you could go to start trying to collect the materials or even the money to get the materials? Or do you want to go rob the school? Because the school probably won't have everything you need, but it'll get you a start. Like you need knowledge, like you got to study, you're going to need books. You're going to need the gems that can actually focus the magic. Like this is going to be effort. This is going to be legendary construction.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that you keep pulling in. I was expelled from school. That's always funny. Don't get me wrong.
It's the one thing that it's the one thing that defines my character. Actually, can I have an intelligence roll? No, I wasn't good. No, it's not that I wasn't good enough to be a wizard. It's that the headmaster didn't like the fact that I was psionic, and I tried to say that psionics is a new methodology of magic.
Now there's always information people you can go to. Like Learned is still someone in this world. Because I like that character and he will always be around. He's an information broker. Then there are other artificers in this world. You can talk to them and start. Like basically, I'm saying this is a good long-term campaign, and we can build off of it.
Yeah. Also, does Jacob know you're psionic?
Yes, because Jacob has seen the fact that I have thrown purple sabers from my hands.
that doesn't explain. That isn't actually psionic. That's just to be a form of magic.
Majority of the time, he's not actually verbalizing. He's mentally talking to you.
Yeah. And okay, so if Jacob might actually help boost your psionics.
Brain go burr?
Yeah.
That won't end well for anyone.
But one massive project at a time.
Okay. I mean,
we're
Jesse, already taking on one
personal request. If they start talking about brain surgery, get the stick.
No.
Like I try not to interfere too much, but before you start cutting into each other,
I'm just waiting for the legitimate threat. Jesse, get the stick.
No, more more mechanical augmentation more than actual brain surgery.
Okay. Again, like I don't know if you're going Dr. Frankenstein with this.
It's not Frankenstein, it's Frankenstein.
Actually, in our case, if I'm to enhance you, it'd be more Frankenfurter.
Oh, I wish. Oh, don't threaten me with a good time.
This man is just chitter chatter while we're just working together on this project.
Yeah. Well, first things first, I'm going to close down my shop.
Are you going to give the keys back to the?
No, I'm like basically I say close for a price down, close for future locks up.
A good thing that blacksmiths are the people who usually make the locks in villages like this, so he'll eventually get his shop back.
Nope, they'll be magically enhanced.
It's still a wooden building.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like I'm going to let you have so much, but when you leave the village, he gets his shop back.
Yeah, until I come back.
Very next day.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just full of one-liners tonight.
All right.
Now, we do still have some time left before we really need to end the session. So if you guys have a direction you want to go in,
let's go with this school that Joseph knows.
Okay.
Actually, is it even on this plane? Because
I mean,
as far
technically,
as
you're in the same world, but you're on another continent, so it would actually be a good bit of travel. Now that I think about it from that perspective,
Yeah.
if you each want to give me some kind of a role for like, I'll give you ideas in my head that you can connect to your ideas.
I'm going to refuse the role because Jacob knows nothing of this world.
You have an idea of what sort of supplies you need, but we'll say you already have that worked out with your 27 earlier.
Yeah.
Jesse, can you roll for me?
Certainly.
Thank you.
And you can even tell me what kind of role you're making. Do you know people? Do you know where, like, I mean, obviously you don't know the exact area, but travel isn't the biggest of complications. Like you can get a ship if you need to.
Yeah.
Because I'm a thief who deal and thieves have to have a fence.
Yes.
I'm just thinking would I potentially know where somebody is that would be that
okay.
is a willing trader in this stuff.
Yes.
So
I'm going to say, Jesse, just from years of spreading glory to the world, you probably have access to various adventuring shops or people who like to help.
Yeah. For my assistance, I have written down a list of the materials I will need, and made a copy and handed to both of them.
Right.
Speaking of which,
17?
Zertan.
Okay.
Nice. So that's potentially an 18 if that's intelligence based. So yay.
Okay.
Speaking of which, Zertan, your eyes are bright and shiny. You're looking full of energy. Is it because you're? Yes. Is it because you've been consuming Ma energy?
They don't sponsor us anymore.
They don't.
No, they closed down that program.
Yeah, but I will still hold this up in their honor.
Yeah. That being said, while they're doing this, Jacob is gonna bash together try and bash together, GM allowing a wagon.
Okay, I mean, a wagon already exists. So when you say you're trying to bash one together,
it's more of the fact that FECCR is going to be pulling it.
Okay, yeah, that's totally doable. You can rig up a harness for SCCR.
Yeah.
And because of all the good you've done, like getting, it's not even going to be a fight unless you just want to go and hit somebody over the head for their, I'm going to say you can obtain it if you want to beat someone up to get it.
No,
that's totally up to Zertan because he has his stick.
Believe it or not, Jacob only uses violence when needed. So he's going to basically ask around for the materials and a wagon.
Okay, that's totally doable. Okay, so Zertan, did you want to do any checks for what you might recall? Like I said, this could be charisma if you want to know somebody, or intelligence if you remember something.
The only thing I get, the only kind of favor in thinking, because his background is Knights of the Order, to be more specifically Knights of the Myth Draenor, which is just part of Faerun. So at this moment, it's like that would be his only form of contact. It's just like any rapport he has either with that same group or just if that name means anything to this place.
Okay. I will say that so let's go with Joseph's first. Joseph, especially from the criminal side, that there is it's called the Shadow Auction. It's not specifically evil or criminal in nature, but it is very neutrally gray. It is it's usually for mages, and you can, if you try, you can probably get a contact who can set you up, because very powerful wizards, they don't do their own work. They would hire representatives to go to the Shadow Auction and make their bids for them, and they sell magical items or related to items. and it's a good way to get things that don't show up on regular markets. And Zertan, because you do come from an order of knights, you are familiar with a interdimensional adventurer shop. It is actually run by a retired adventurer. It is called the Broken Claw. And the way it works is if you have the key to the shop, you can open up the door from any existing door. And it's just run by an old adventurer who, when his last mission didn't go too well, he decided he couldn't. He's injured. He couldn't keep up the life, but he had all this money, all this knowledge. He used it to create his own shop. And if you know someone who has a key, if you have a key, I don't know. That would be a little bit of a Deus Ex Machina, but I'll let you roll for it if you think you might have collected a key over the years. Like you're 10th level, I'm not going to deny you much.
So do I bang myself with a stick to obtain the key?
I would say that you can make a history check. If it's high enough, you happen to have come across one and you remember it.
Beautiful. It's only a -2.
This is why it's a good challenge for you to do a history check. Like, I'll give you a magic item if you can roll this.
I'm going to cast Responsibility.
Okay. It's still you still be building off the 4, but what would enhance ability do?
I'll give him advantage.
Oh, okay. All right. So you get to roll that again.
To him, he just thinks the gods are just trying to be in his favor.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Another 4.
Oh,
He's like, I saw a key one time. They put it into the keyhole and they opened the door.
I wasn't allowed to touch the key because I said I was not.
It might not have been a magical key. It might have been their house key.
I'm not sure for sure, but did lead my path to becoming a paladin, so become worthy of the key that was so elusive to me.
Yes. So you're just remembering one time when your dad locked the house. Like, the key prevents me from going through the door.
Oh, no, without the key, the lack of a key.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's an interdimensional shop, do I have a chance of knowing the key?
Sure. Because this has nothing to do with realms.
Okay, so I will make a history check.
Yes, I will slightly adjust the difficulty because it was more, you have a lot in your intelligence. What'd you roll?
22.
22. So Zertan talks about this shop called the Broken Claw, and you start digging through. Like, you're an artificer, you probably keep all kinds of things because you never know. Like, oh, you could melt this down one day, and you remember a key made out of electrum, because who would make a key out of electrum? That was stupid. You kept it because one day you were going to need cash and you were going to melt it down. But it was shaped like a bird's talon. The keys on it were like that. So you pull it out and like, could this be the key?
Oh. You're definitely the key master. Let's check out with the gatekeeper then. I'll take the key and stick it into a door and click.
And the door opens up, and like the reflection of gold is the way I would describe the light, as it opens into a modest shop. And you hear a voice from further in. Come on in. I'll be with you in just a moment. Do you go into the shop? Or are you just going to stand there and stare?
I'm going to just grab the other two and just pull them into the shop and make sure that I remember the key.
It's not a problem. The door will close behind you, but you know the door is still there. It doesn't vanish. The door is there. I'm not that mean. I'm glad you're paranoid, but I'm not that mean.
Yeah.
No, it's more
I,
so that somebody else doesn't steal the key. So
Oh no,
Yeah,
it's rigged up where it's just you.
yeah. I take my key back. Thank you.
Yep. Just make sure you note that you have access to this key.
Hmm.
Because the shop is filled with odds and ends. There's a lot of like basic, like there's a row of potions. You do notice that the potions are about 3 times more expensive than normal. But there's like whatever an adventurer might need, and then you can see that there are some things that are clearly magical. And finally, you hear a thumping sound coming from around the back as this he's an Aarakocra from the looks of things, but he's like scarred. Half of his face is old burn scars. One arm is literally withered, the broken claw, and like one wing is just totally missing, and he's walking on a crutch as he comes thumping around kind of slowly. Hello, how are you all doing today? How can I help you?
I'm gonna give this guy a hug.
You just rush forward and hug him. He's like, oh, okay, you're a friendly guy. Hi, you can call me Rex. Does he do
nice
this
to
with
meet you.
everybody?
Oh, not at all.
No.
Okay, either I'm special or very unlucky. I don't know which yet. Okay.
I would
Both.
suggest.
It's
I would
both.
suggest. I would suggest unlucky.
You are both, sir.
How can I help you?
I point to Jacob.
He's very nice. I don't buy sentient creatures.
And I would be beyond your price. Anyway.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, pulls out a list, hands in the list. This is what we're after.
Oh, wow. This is quite an extensive list. I don't have everything. I can get you a few of the gems. Okay, first things first. Yes, everything in my shop costs more because I'm an interdimensional shop. I get to pick my own prices. So, these gems, they're going to be about 50,000. Let's see, the power source. I mean, there's a couple of things like you can break down a couple of things and just harness their sheer power. But a couple of these I'm going to have to put on requisition because if they come in, I can like hold them for you. But it's kind of going to be a little bit of the negotiation. I can't promise I can get them at a specific price. But I can definitely hold on to some of them if I can get them.
Zertan, you ready to good negotiation?
Yeah, but what do we have to barter? Like, I'm good at talking to people, but again, it's like with that level of price level, we can't use we're famous adventurers. We can get these for free kind of excuse.
Good point. Usually
Joseph just very slowly pulls out his smoldering armor and then hands it over to Jacob.
I thank you.
You can use that, and then I pull out a bag of 300 gold coins and I hand it over to you, and then I pull out from my pocket your 2 silver coins from earlier, and I give those to you.
Rex is watching all this. He just says, I'll tell you what, you don't have to put down a deposit, but if you go more than, say, a year without coming back to try to check on some of the things, because I have people who put things on requisition all the time. If you die, I'll just sell it to somebody else.
That seems fair.
So we don't require down payments, but if you take too long, I just kind of have to assume that you lost the key. Best case scenario.
Well, it'd be quite humorous. Like I survived Vashgoth and I ended up dying in such a place.
once Andy has a chance to actually review some of the creation of magical items, he can get you a better price on what you're going to need for supplies.
Yeah.
But yeah. But now, is there anything else that I can do for you? Like I said, I will definitely keep an eye out for some of these, but
No, that is all. But you said I'm curious about some of the devices you've made. Are they?
no, I don't make anything. I just buy things. Know a lot of people. Managed to get the shop set up. Now I buy, I sell, and adventurers, they can come from wherever as long as they can use the key. So all over the worlds of this plane, and a few of the other planes.
Very well. I'm. Yeah. Like if I ever do whip up something that is interesting enough, I might come. Might have some business.
Oh well, look forward to it.
I'm still relatively young, but I am being told I'm a talented artificer.
Age was the age matter. I mean, when you're in this profession, you could live for hundreds of years and still be a human. You live for thousands of years, and then you're probably crossing into something else. But hey, that happens sometimes too. Not always bad. Not always bad.
Well, I'm like, let's just say I'm young even by human standards.
Oh, we won't hold that against you.
Eyes you very cautiously.
Like, you're old enough to make bad decisions, so you're old enough to be in the shop.
I'm old enough to be held accountable for my actions, but young enough to make those poor decisions occasionally.
He kind of leans on his crutch a little bit, almost conspiratorial. Like, I haven't met an adventurer yet who was smart enough to avoid dumb decisions. And he kind of waves his crippled hand at you in the process.
And you two, something rarer than him actually making blueprints happens. Jacob smiles at that comment.
Third time pulls out a chair and then immediately falls out of it.
I've seen many people die because of stupid decisions. Usually the stupid decision is not to listen to me, but
he kind of that's a little bit like my last adventure. I was the only one to get away from it. Anyway, but that's hopefully you'll all retire before you reach that point.
True. Anyway, it has been a pleasure meeting you.
And you.
And we will return when you have the items we need, and we have the funds to procure them.
Well, the key will always open to a point when the shop is open.
Much appreciated. A extends a hand.
He will shake your hand.
Zertan, Joseph, I believe we have taken up this fine fellow's time. I suggest we leave. Unless you want to.
If there's anything you want to buy, and he's literally in a shop, you have money.
Yeah. Well, hands Joseph back his materials, his items. Well, my funds are a little sparse, coming from. I
do admit I don't run the cheapest shop because, after all, I am the place that people can come in the middle of a dungeon if they can find a door. So we kind of get to offer that. You're in a tight space money.
I know. I pretty respect your business acumen. Just unfortunately, it doesn't work with my current.
No, it happens. If you have anything you want to sell. No, that's not a sentient person.
Well, I could other than my services, no, I have nothing to sell.
Well, do you want to take that chair to fall out of? He kind of looks at Zertan like,
no, I'm just in a state of shock. He pushes the chair back.
Okay. Like,
Yeah.
I can find you like a shrinking one.
What do you mean shrinking?
It can like shrink down. You can keep it in your pocket. Then when you need to fall out of it, you take it out and you make it bigger, and you fall out of the chair. Then you put it back.
So it's a portable chair.
Well, I was going to say a chair that gets smaller because all chairs are technically portable. I mean, you can just carry them around. Like, but yeah, okay, we'll go with that portable chair.
How much?
You know what? For you, we'll make it 20 gold.
Done.
Okay, you now have a portable chair.
Portable chair.
Portable chair. All I want is a portable chair.
So
Well,
We
I
can
have
call it
many
the chair
jokes
of
for this
falling
in
out.
the
The
future.
chair of disbelief.
chair.
actually, no. It's a basically one that's basically like a folding chair, but it folds like multiple times and it's a little square.
Yeah.
It's called the chair of folding.
It's a piece. It's a PC, a portable chair.
I like all of these. I like calling it the PC. But yes, it folds up into a nice little square that fits in your pocket.
Yes.
And then when you want it, you just like whip it like a sheet and it's a chair.
You know how much is going to be throwing people off.
Oh, I know.
He's unarmed.
Look out, he has a chair.
Wait.
That's why I love these
does
games.
Does this mean that there's a chair that's the massive asset chair where it's got like a drawer that's just right above the ground that you open up and it's actually like a portable hole and you can pull stuff out of it?
No, it's kind of what the
On
shop
the
is.
back.
No,
Kind of what the
please
shop
don't-
is.
please don't give the Rory Paladin a whole chair because that would technically make it a glory hole.
His head sort of tilts a little bit at Paladin, but
I just look around and go,
sorry. When all of this happened, there was a Paladin.
There's always a Paladin.
I just give him another hug.
Oh my god.
I mean, are you like doing like a squeezing hug or a gentle hug?
A gentle hug.
Okay.
And anyway,
Like, don't crush the ribs of my crippled NPC. I kind of like him.
like,
I know I did horrible things to him in his backstory, but like, don't.
Yeah, I'm gonna look him over and see if I can whip together any artifice that might be able to help him be at ease.
I'm gonna say before you do that, you do realize like he is considered a high level adventurer who owns a interdimensional shop.
Yeah, I'm gonna still look him over, then
Okay.
realize this, then stop looking him over.
Okay, yeah. You know that because of the shop he has access to some of the most powerful things within reason. So apparently he never got a hold to a ring of regeneration or anything of that nature.
Anyway, well,
just saying,
like
if you come across one and you want to gift it, I won't stop you.
well, anyway, pleasure. Let us go.
Oh, like I said, anytime you use the key, you will open up to a point when I am open and free. So come back in whenever.
Yeah. Jacob goes over to the wagon and actually builds a door for the back of the wagon.
Okay. I'm just curious. Where do you get the door?
from the shop.
I knew it. I knew what you were gonna do. You walk over, you yank the door off, and nail it. I'm gonna allow it. You now have a portable door to go with your portable chair on your wagon. The wagon's also portable.
Shopping,
You see, that's why I love these games, because you guys are you're going to wreck the world, but you're going to do it in a great way. You did everything but put a house on this wagon.
Yeah, and then after the harness on it, he's going to attach FECCR to it.
Okay. And with that, you can roll out of town.
Dog.
As you do, there's a guy just looking at it like, this is going to take me a week to fix, looking at his shop.
It could be worse. Last place that I rolled through, I don't know if the kingdom still exists after.
Okay, no rush to come back. Thanks for all you've done.
You're welcome.
And also, when he goes up to his room, he finds the beds are missing, and you see the wagon. There's like beds laid out.
Okay, yeah, you took the man's bed. And with that, you roll out of town. The people who once celebrated your arrival are now celebrating your leaving.
Yeah.
Oh, well, guys, unless there's some other chaos you had in mind, I think we're at a good ending spot for today.
Oh yeah, that's
So
good.
with that, you know, I don't have a clever way to close it like I did to open it. So we'll just say, everybody, tell us where you're at on the internet and what you're doing with your life.
Yeah. Like, hi, I'm Ashes. The only mystery about me is how I'm a functioning adult.
You're a functioning adult?
More or less.
Is
like,
there anyone in this group that is a functioning adult? Raise your hand.
There is like 20 air quotation marks behind by the word functioning.
Yeah. By all legal definitions, we're adults, and we're allowed to live our lives without supervision.
Yeah. Like said, I'm often left unsupervised. I know it terrifies me too, but the possibilities are endless. But you can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Discord on Archstref. You can also find me on Instagram, where you can have me following me my time as a gamer, mainly Fate Grand Order, but also like I'll be dropping deck techs for Commander, Modern, Pioneer, and Standard now that Monastery Mentor is coming back in, which I'm so excited about. Anyway, that's where you can find me.
I'm Kyle. You can find me on Flint Ewood 756 here on Twitch as well. And I can officially say that I am coming back. As you can see, I am now in the new office.
Yay!
Yes. And along with the new office comes a new computer that has much better specs than what I was running before. So you guys will definitely see more of me.
I would like to see more of you.
Oh, that's so sweet of you, sweetheart.
Yeah, it makes it for easier target.
Okay, let Jesse talk before you two make it awkward.
I can't transition from that. Hi, I'm awkward. Anyway, I'm Crumb64, also known as Jesse Crump. You can find me on all levels of the internet under Crumb64 on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all that sorts. And right now, no streams are really being planned right now because of the Holy Week and Easter and all that stuff, but I am currently working on a project on my Magic the Gathering channel, Lovely Lady Commander, where me and 3 other players have received decks that we have no clue what they are.
Ooh.
So
like I don't really play Magic, but I know some of it, and I'm like, I'm intrigued by this.
Yes, so like in this we all bought these decks. We don't know what's in them or what they contain, but this week and next week we're going to be filming, and then I'll announce on my Twitter when the episode is out.
All right, very cool.
I'm praying for goblins or something.
Oh, I do love goblins. I do love goblins. Again, not to just sidetrack too much, but because of me being a nerd on the internet, I'm getting more and more information about Warhammer 420,000, whatever it's called. I don't play it, but I 40K. Love the lore of the orcs and how, if they believe it, it's real. And somebody was talking about, like purple is the stealthiest color. Why? Because you've never seen a purple orc. And I was like, I'm taking that logic, but I'm applying it to my goblins in my world. because my goblins, like they had the Fey ancestry now, and my goblins are already chaos machines. You've met Bugger. So it's like, oh, that's how Bugger gets his stuff to work. He just believes it should work. And now, at some point, there will be the legend of the Purple Goblin, the greatest assassin the world has never known. Okay, all of that being said, hi, my name's Andy. I kind of organize this general chaos cluster.
Organize.
Yeah, it's more like I throw out the seed, and then you guys just come flock and do whatever you're going to do. That's my bird watching, by the way. I can be found everywhere on the internet under the name Warp Films. I'm not that creative. I only use the one name, but I try to do as much creative stuff as I can. Right now, it's a lot of TikTok stuff, but I'm getting settled into the new home. I'm making new stuff. I hope to get more things going on the YouTube channel. I love doing stuff in the gaming space here. I just have a ball with this, and I wish we could do this more often. Hey, we should try to do this in like 2 weeks. I mean, we can make that work. But no, I absolutely love this game. I don't know what's going to happen next, because you saw how this episode played out. I had 3 vague ideas, and I let you guys walk into one. Actually, got 2 of them. We got to introduce Rex. I've been waiting on that. I'm babbling. I'm going to go ahead and log off now. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Farewell.